Welcome to the Fleet Geeks podcast. We're here to help develop fleet and transport professionals. Do you want to progress and develop your skills and knowledge? We promise to bring lively conversation and debate around interesting issues and keep you bang up to date with changes in our awesome industry. The Fleet Geeks are a community of professionals, and if you enjoy the podcast, why not join the discussion for free in the Fleet Geek community over on Facebook?
Yeah, well, we're live, and hopefully we're not too nervous. Welcome to today's Fleet Geeks podcast with myself, Mikey V, Mr. V over in the corner.
How we doing, folks? All right?
And today we are very honoured to have two fantastic guests join us. We've got Ellie and we've got John, and these guys are part of our Fleet Geeks peer-to-peer mentoring group. Absolutely wonderful transport managers, the pair of them, and we're very proud to have them join us today. So guys, welcome. How does it feel to be live on air to the podcast that you listen to and having to listen to yourself back?
Yeah, a bit surreal. I don't think I'd have been on here this soon anyway.
Bit nervous, but yeah, on it.
No? Okay, cool. Well, that's great then. So, Mike, we're going to... Jack says he's on his way as well, so we'll just add him in as he arrives. Hopefully we can just add him in. So... Okay, so tell us a bit then. So you guys are part of the peer-to-peer mentoring group, and this podcast is for those listeners who are maybe toying with the idea of joining, but they maybe haven't quite committed to it yet. And, you know, we want to help educate them a bit more about what it's about, because it's a fairly new type of concept. So first of all, John, I'm going to come to you so Ellie can have a little bit more time to get more nervous. How did you hear about the Fleet Geeks?
I think the first time I heard about it was mentioned on the Half Dozen Things podcast, and then LinkedIn and from the Facebook pages. But the main reason was Half Dozen Things podcast, which I still listen to as well.
Yeah, spot on. And what about you, Ellie?
My friend who I work closely with, John, he knows that because I'm a new ETM, he knows that I was looking for that extra support, so he recommended that I join Fleet Geeks on the Facebook page. And I just thought it was brilliant. It was just kind of what I needed.
Fantastic. Are you members of the other Facebook groups at all?
Yes, but I don't really go on there really.
Yeah,
now I'm on Fleet Geeks, I don't need to, do I?
Good answer.
I try and stay away from trial by Facebook groups.
Trial by Facebook.
Sometimes they're like a pack of wolves, right? Okay, cool. So when Fleet Geeks launched the concept about the peer-to-peer group, what did you guys think to that idea? Was it something that you just thought, yeah, I want to get involved, or did you have a little bit of uncertainty around it? This time I'm going to come to you first, Ellie.
Okay. Well, because I was a new ETM, I was looking for some extra support. I wanted to get involved with some people that, you know, had a lot more knowledge that I have, so I could bounce off other people. But when it got mentioned about the peer-to-peer group, I just knew that I was going to sign up straight away, because I know that I was going to have so many challenges and questions, and I want to get better in the industry. And so, I just knew I'd sign up straight away.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks, Ellie. And what about you then, John?
Yeah, I didn't really have any reservations with her. I was quite surprised that there wasn't anything more like that out there. Do you know what I mean? I thought, why has it took this long? Especially with, obviously, the pandemic and everything sort of jumped onto Zoom from then on. I thought, why has it took this long for something like this to be started? So, I was really looking forward to getting the opportunity to join and be a part of it.
Yeah, I got you. You had a bit of reservations initially, John, because you were sort of uncertain, and then came a bit later on. Are you able to share that?
I think it was just that initial cost and that outlay, that monthly subscription as such. But I think after definitely doing, I think you said it was the first one was free sort of thing. I was like, why have I not done this sooner? That was my biggest regret, was not jumping on from day one.
Yeah, got you. Really. So that I guess that's something for me to sort of share for the listeners. When we initially put the group out, the cost was obviously quite expensive. It was sort of and is an investment for people. Oh, it looks like Jack's coming in as well. There was a bit of investment for people, but at the same time, what I've done is making like the first one free. It just hopefully will help people help people get committed. Here he is. Jack's joined us.
Well,
Yeah, all good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. The internet's down in the office, so I've had to drive home to get on here.
Mate, you are live on the podcast, mate. You're not live, but you're on the podcast, mate. How's it feel?
Yeah, no, it's the first one for me, so proud to be part of it, really. Thanks for inviting me.
Good, mate. Well, just to catch you guys up then, catch you up. We've just talked a bit about how the guys heard about Fleet Geeks and what they expected from the peer-to-peer group specifically. So, how did you hear about Fleet Geeks first of all, Jack?
So listening to half a dozen things, been listening to that for a while. I think I dropped you a message on, I think it was LinkedIn, and you said I'd find the group useful. Joined up, and here I am.
Nice. No, I appreciate you coming by. So, and obviously I appreciate all of you for signing up as members of the group as well. So, I'm going to go to the next question, which is about what is the best thing about the peer-to-peer meeting. But before I go to John, Jack and Ellie, I'm going to go to Mike first, because it's interesting for them to hear what's so great about it for us, I think, first of all. So Mike, what do you think is the best thing about the peer-to-peer meeting?
Yeah, it's for me again. When you first sort of kind of sold me the concept, and I kind of sat there and I thought, yeah, this has been done before. It hasn't, and I've been around for an awful long time, and this has not been done before. And as John said, you'd think that in the age of Zoom and we've got this digital world now. Why on earth hasn't this been done before? It's a new concept. Great, absolutely. What a fantastic idea. So for me, training is great. I'm going to say that I'm a trainer. That's what I do. So I'm going to first off say training is great, but it only gets you so far. I think we liken it to sort of driving tests, don't we? And we pass our driving test, but that's when we start learning to drive. So I see this as the next progression for people who are in the industry and want to get that sort of collective knowledge together. I think for me, that's what really does. I would have if I was on the other side of the coin here, I'd have no hesitation whatsoever in signing up to this, because I think we'll all agree it's been fantastic so far. Hopefully.
Yeah, I was going to say I love that warm feeling I get on the Wednesday evening after the team call is finished. I just think I wish I had time to do these every week because they're amazing, and I just love that. I love that like community feel that we've managed to generate, because it's not like a networking event where you just spend a bit of time together. We're actually spending like 3 hours together, really getting to know each other. We get to build that camaraderie and know each other's businesses a bit more. So I'm going to open. Sorry.
So we get down to we get into the detail of, webinars and that kind of thing's been done before, but we get actually into the detail of what really is, what people really want to understand, isn't it? From their own experiences as well.
Hi, it's Pete from Flagship Partners. We're really proud to sponsor the Fleet Geeks podcast. Flagship Partners offer a range of consultancy and training services to ensure that our customers remain compliant and have the best possible knowledge to be able to fulfill their work. If you're interested in support with any of our safety, HR or compliance services, or you want to train to be a transport manager or need driver CPC training, give us a call today.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can tell I'm used to being interrupted by Mike on the podcast. Anyway, I'm only jesting, Mike. I'm only jesting. Cool. So moving to you guys, I don't really mind who goes first. I'm just going to go for it. So what do you guys think is the best thing about the peer-to-peer group meeting on a monthly basis? What's the best thing about the meeting?
I think for me, it's John. It's that confidentiality. It's that you can bring absolutely anything into the group with you, and you've got confidence knowing that it's going to stay in the group. Take an awful lot of advice, and collectively put everybody else's opinions together to paint that bigger picture of actually what your problem is. But then also it counts towards your CPD as well, which is a massive bonus as well.
Yeah, definitely. No, I appreciate that, mate. So yeah, there's like you say, we run what's called Chatham House rules. So a lot of the time in the transport industry, things are quite delicate, and it's important that we keep confidentiality and trust in the group. One of Flagship Partners' big values is around trust, absolutely. There's we have to have the integrity of the group. So it's one of those where we'll have people come and join us, but it's important that we carefully select who comes and listens as well. It isn't just a given that anyone who wants to join will, because we need to ensure that we all trust the people that we allow into the room as well. So yeah, fantastic, John. Appreciate that. Who wants to go next out of Jack and Ellie?
I'll go.
Ellie, go for it. Look at her hand up like she's at school. Go on, Ellie.
I am.
Off the blocks.
I suppose it's the safety of being able to ask any questions, like whether they're like stupid or not. You guys make me feel like really comfortable, and like I know whatever answers I get, they're like the high quality answers. It's like the right answers, and I go away with an answer to my question and knowing exactly what needs to be done. Which on the back of that then saves me so much time, because if I wasn't in this group, I would then be faffing around, spending hours, maybe days, thinking about something of where to get the right answer of how to do something, where I come to the peer-to-peer meetings and it's just boom, and someone knows the answer straight away, and it's just amazing, basically. So,
and I think it's fair to say as well, Ellie, it's not just the group. We were not just the monthly meetings. We do run a Facebook, we do run a Facebook group, of course. But WhatsApp, that's the word. See, I'm not down with the kids like you lot.
Yeah.
The WhatsApp group, and that kind of is. There's all sorts of stuff we discuss on there, isn't there? And it's great.
And the response time's really quick on there as well. It's amazing that if someone's busy, someone else is guaranteed to always be there.
Step in and yeah.
So yeah, I love it.
I'm in a lot of WhatsApp groups for various things, and that's one of the most active. And I think there's a lot of valuable stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, cool. So let me just recap what I heard from you, Ellie. So that was that it's about being able to ask the questions in a safe environment where you feel like it's okay to ask them, and you're always going to get good quality answers. And actually that saves you time, right? Which is like, so the time you're saving, obviously people will look at the cost of the group, and then you can actually think, well, actually, if I save myself a day's worth of faffing around, that's paid for it, right? So, and you've kind of got, it's like an investment, isn't it? Yeah. So no, fantastic. Appreciate that. Jack, what about you, mate? What's the best thing about the meeting?
So it's being in sort of with like-minded people that are all interested in CPD. You've got your groups on Facebook, and you can, for new transport managers, for example, they can put something in a post, and you can get funny answers back, and sort of for new transport managers, I just think it's spot on. No one else is doing that as well, this group that I've seen. So yeah, I think it's just brilliant to have that experience there as well, and the knowledge of other like-minded people, like-minded transport managers. Appreciate that.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about like tangibly, what's the most valuable, if there's one thing that's the most valuable thing so far, obviously we've only been running the group a few months, what's the most valuable thing for you that you've got so far from the group? And let's go the other way back round again. So we'll go Jack this time. What's the most valuable thing particularly that you got from the group, Jack?
It's being able to discuss from experience. That is the main thing for me. If you're not able to shadow someone as a TM, obviously the response time, like people have mentioned, the response time of what you need is spot on, really. Spot on.
Okay, appreciate that. Thanks, Jack. And what about you, Ellie?
So mine would be time, because I just think that's the most valuable thing I get, because it saves me so much time. But also I really like when we done, the detailed brake test report. I just think that was a great breakdown, and I think I took a lot away from that. And it's examples like that we go into in detail, that it's really good.
Yeah, got you. So just to sort of clarify that for the listeners, so the actual meeting itself is 3 hours, but it's quite structured, isn't it? Where we have a monthly check-in where we talk about wins and stuff like that, and then we have education slots each month where we have like a technical ed slot where we've had like understanding brake roller tests, understanding PMI sheets, technical type education slots, and then we also do like developmental education slots as well, where it might be around influencing people or different marketing techniques for external transport management, those kinds of things that we do education slots on. And then we do like the issue and challenge sharing and sharing best practice and that kind of thing. So you particularly got a lot out of the roller brake test, which is something Tom Reddy did for us, wasn't it? Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Ellie. What about you, John?
For me, I think it's being able to have that access and that sort of mainly the access to and the exposure to people that are like-minded. They've got years of experience, obviously yourself, Mike, training, and ask for hints and tips, but also learn a lot as well. Bring a challenge to the table, and it's like everybody just chips away at it, and that challenge that might have been keeping you awake for a day or two, actually by the end of the call, it's problem solved. You know what you need to do, you take it away from it. So I think it's having that access to people with a wealth of experience and being able to tap into that knowledge really.
Yeah.
And with the WhatsApp group as well.
Yeah, I was quite careful when I curated the group and I was looking at sort of setting it up. When I looked at who was going to help sort of support me with running it, obviously we've got Mike in the group. He's a very experienced transport manager, CPC trainer, so he's got a vast knowledge of what the syllabus covers and what's involved with from that point of view. And then Tom and James kind of come from they're both like polar opposites in the way that they've come about stuff. Tom from more sort of small business, as a driver, and then you've got James who's got a very commercial type, larger business type head on, hasn't he? So we've got quite a bit of varied experience, which is really useful. Okay, cool. So I think the last question I wanted to ask was, what would you say if someone was thinking about coming along and trying out the Fleet Geeks group for the mentoring? What would you say to them? What would you say to them? I'm going to kick it off with Mike, actually. Bring Mike in. Mike's been quiet for a little bit.
Well, that's a first, isn't
a little bit strange. I know, right?
So what are you waiting for? Come and join us and see what you've been missing for the last 6 months. But and it's great hearing those testimonies there from the guys and girls. What are you waiting for? I've never experienced anything like this, and I've been around an awful long time, and this is what the industry has been waiting for. Come and join us.
Appreciate that, Mike. Thank you. I'm going to put you on the spot, Ellie.
I'd say, do it. Jump in. You've got nothing to lose, and you're only going to gain from it. So, get involved.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. And John, go for that.
I think ask yourself where you're going to get that level of experience on tap and that atmosphere, that professionalism as well from everybody around you, even in the WhatsApp group. You're not going to be able to just go and knock on somebody's door at 9-10 o'clock at night and say, I think I failed an MOT, or I've got a brake test issue, what do I do with this? Whereas the WhatsApp group, it's there, and you're not going to get that anywhere else.
I love the thought of you going around to your next door neighbour and in your dressing gown, like, I've just had this happen. Can you help? And him looking at you like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly.
Can I borrow a cup of sugar? And by the way, I've had an MOT failure.
Amazing. Oh, we've got this brake imbalance. Do you want to have a look at my brake test report? What do you think about it? And this guy looking at you like, amazing. Right, Jack, over to you, mate.
I think just do it. You won't look back. The support you get from the group, give it a go. You won't look back at all. It's only the other day someone mentioned on social media, has anyone got any guidance for reading roller brake tests? And I think if you was part of this group, it's there literally 5 minutes. You've got it in a WhatsApp group. It's there. The support is literally next to none.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? That's just made me think, and this is one of the things that we're evolving all the time. Mike, I realised, so John wasn't there for that roller brake test, Ed slot, was he? So what I should do is I should actually record them all, shouldn't I? And then when people join, they get them as a back catalogue, don't they? That's not a bad shout, is it?
Very helpful, yeah.
That's a great
idea. Back catalogues. I'm always using back catalogues for other podcasts. Not that there's any better podcasts than ours around, but I'm a massive consumer of podcasts now, and I'm always using back catalogues. Fantastic.
Yeah. Absolutely. Do you know what? I'm just going to finish this now because I promised you guys would be done in like 15 minutes. You've all taken time out of your days to come and have a chat with me and Mike and sort of share your experience with us. And we really appreciate it. We really appreciate you coming along, the peer-to-peer group, and you guys getting involved and embracing it as well. And I'm really delighted to hear that you guys are all so pleased with it as well. But as with anything, we're always open to improvement. So if there's ever any suggestions about improving it as well, we're more than happy to take those as well. But yeah, has anyone got anything else they'd like to add whilst they're on the podcast? Do they want to say hi to their mum or, I'm here?
Just thanks for creating a great Pete.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to the next meeting. Put it that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, awesome.
Bit of pressure on. I'm hosting, so a bit of pressure on.
Yeah, I was going to say Mike's hosting, so
I've got a high bar to live up to, haven't I? So let's gotta do my own work.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys for coming along, and thank you to the listeners for having a listen. If you hopefully, you've had listening and you think, oh, what is this peer-to-peer mentoring all about? I'm really interested. Come and get involved. And if you're not sure about coming and get involved, even though it's free, dip your toe in with the networking. We're still doing networking at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday for those of you that want to come and meet like-minded professionals. Otherwise, over and out. And hope you've enjoyed it. Catch you guys later.
Everybody.
See you guys.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please share with your friends and colleagues too. Join us for free on Facebook with the Fleet Geeks community for transport and fleet managers. Fleet Geeks offers ongoing professional development, networking and mentoring too. So get in touch with me, Pete Rushmer, on any social media platform to find out more.